So we met Johnny Depp 2 years ago, I believe it was, in the Adirondacks at a concert. When he was on tour with Jeff Beck. And so we got to see him in concert, which was really awesome. And then when the concert was over, it was pouring rain. And we had discussed about trying to find his bus, but it was pouring rain. And so we're like, should we? I don't know. And then we're like, no, we better, because if we'd kick ourselves if we didn't. And so it happened to be just around the corner of the outside door was where his bus was parked. So we went out and stood there and waited. And sure enough, he came out. And he is such a friendly, genuine, down-to-earth person. And he's so gentle, just gentle and calm and serene. Like, what a nice man. And I didn't get to say much to him because there was such a crowd around, and he wanted to make sure that he gave everybody an autograph and a quick picture. So it was kind of hard, but I was able to point out my Manson shirt that I was wearing at the time. And he was like, oh, look at that. It's Manson. And I said, yeah. And I was like, and then he took my hand. So we were holding hands while I was able to speak to him. And I said, please let Manson know that we're all out here caring about him and thinking about him. And, we're with him and basically sending good thoughts and prayer vibes. And he said, I will. And as he's holding my hand, and made direct eye contact, he said, I want you to know that he's going to be okay. He's really going to be okay. And I said, thank you for telling me that. I was like, I want you to know that we all love both of you so much. We really care about you guys. And he said, well, thank you. And he touched his heart like he does. And, it was a really cool experience. The very first time I met Manson, you went in and you were in line, and he was sitting at a table, and you approached him and got to meet him, and he signed an autograph, and you talked to him for a few minutes or whatever, a few seconds. And then you got in another line to go take a picture with him. And when I got in the line to take the picture with him and went in and everything, and I approached him for the picture, and he's just a big goofy clown. He was being hilarious and joking around with everybody. And I looked up at him and I said, now don't forget, when we were talking out there, you said you promised me a hug. And he grabbed me like just wrapped me up in his arms. And he's big. Like back then he had put on some weight. This was in 2012. But he's very tall, as you know, and then he had some weight on him, and he just wrapped me and grabbed me. And, I was laughing and everything. And I looked up at him and I said, oh my God, I love you. And he literally let go of me and stepped back a few steps. And he was like, no, you don't love me. You don't love me. And at first inside myself, I thought, oh my God, I just made an idiot of myself in front of him, And then immediately I thought, no, I love what he has projected to us, to the public. So that's what I said to him. I looked up at him and I said, well, what I mean is I love the you that you've projected to us. And he said, okay, I'll give you that. So anyway, the reason I'm sharing this is because to me, that is a genuine, nice, trustworthy human being, because what he saw was this young girl standing in front of him saying, oh, I love you. And he took the time to point out to me, no, you don't. And that's just a genuine, sweet thing to do. And I've kept that with me my entire whole life. Now I've always remembered that. And I think it's a really cool twist that now he's the one on stage constantly telling us how much he loves us. And I've heard the new fan stories from this recent tour, where they talk about him saying, well, I love you too. And yes, I also love you, so it's just interesting how that's changed. And
I love that.
Yeah. So
I think probably he's much more appreciative now of that. Now, having come through the fire and having these fans literally supporting him, paying his bills. If y'all weren't going, if all of you were not going to the concerts and buying this new music and stuff, he'd be dead in the water.
Absolutely.
And so I do think there's been an interesting kind of a real sort of gratitude.
I also care about women, obviously. And as women, we are taught to believe each other and to listen to each other when we claim something like this. And decent women usually tell the truth. So, I wasn't quite sure which way to go. But then there you were. And I played your video and listened to what you had to say and everything. And then I really started thinking about it. And from that point on, things started to unfold. And, details came out and evidence and everything. And I was like, thank God. Like God, who I don't believe in, but thank the universe.
Right.
It's
So
not.
what has been your feeling watching then this progress over the last almost 4 years? What do you think about his trajectory and the battle that he's been waging and what he's been having to deal with for the past 4 years?
I can't imagine going through it at all. And on our side, on the fan side, it's been absolute hell having to wait out here and wonder if he's okay and how he's handling it. The way I got through it myself was to just remind myself how strong he is and what he teaches us all through his music and his art. And I had to think about the fact that I'm so much like him, and how would I handle it if I was him? And the way I would handle it is to turn to my own art and, stay focused that way through my own art. And I thought to myself, I hope he's just creating. I hope he's taking time to himself to just care about himself and take care of himself and just throw himself into his artwork and create. And turns out, I think I was pretty much right. He wasn't just laying around feeling sorry for himself for 3 years. He really got to work.